Hi everyone, it's Shade from Nerdedness, and finally the new version is here. I have included a massive overhaul of a lot of coding and improvements throughout the entire mod for greater compatibility and more features. For those who are new, the intention of this mod is to pretty much not just give you the best of both worlds of vampirism and werebeast within Skyrim, but also kind of the best of all worlds. So I'm also incorporating features for Lich mods, as well as potentially other dragon-related mods. There's a lot of cool werewolf and vampire features within the game of Skyrim, but there's even more and far superior features through various werewolf and vampire mods. So my mod intends to enable you to be able to use all those mods, all those features to kind of suit the style and the gameplay elements that you're after. Now, you don't have to roleplay as a full vampire or werewolf if you don't want to. You can just have the shapeshift abilities by pacifying it. So you can still be a full or clean or cured human whilst having the ability to shapeshift if you choose. Okay, so what does the mod actually do? Well, for starters, it has an active effect which will keep an eye on the various mechanics in the game. So this is a magic effect. And whilst this is running, the mod is doing its thing. It monitors activities that are happening in the background, like whether you are or are not a vampire or werewolf, and whether you have or have not shapeshifted between the two. It's kind of what keeps all the complex mechanics that are in the vanilla game or even a modified game running smoothly. So of course it enables you to be both a vampire and a werewolf, and even a Lich if you're using one of the supported Lich mods. There is also a new feature that enables you to quick shift between the various forms to your choosing, provided that you are actually a hybrid. You can now choose a variety of different human or humanoid racial appearances based to your liking. This mod should be compatible with nearly all mods and nearly all custom races. However, some of your features may vary depending on the mod and also depending as time goes on and mods change. And there are no special requirements to use this mod. Just install it, it's fully standalone, and it's also available on Xbox. Sorry PS4 users, Sony does not allow the addition of custom assets or scripts, which I need a whole bunch of scripts to accomplish these tasks. So unfortunately, I cannot offer this particular mod on PS4. However, I might try and eventually do a super basic cut down version for PS4 users if I can get that to work. Now, this mod is not intended to grant vampirism or lycanthropy and werewolf features. You're intended to get them naturally within the game via the various mechanics that exist within. However, there are some mods that do grant these things, like Moonlight Tales and Sacrosanct. You might find that if you use those mods to artificially grant you these features, that it may cure the opposing one. So if you really are desperate and you want to just enable it, there's an option to do this within the settings book within this mod. By the way, do you like my shirt? Comes in a couple of varieties. There's also a semi-slooty version for my boy MXR over here. If you want to get your hands on these bad boys, as my followers are displaying here, just head on over to your local forge. Depending on what smithing perks you have available, will unlock various armors throughout the game. And if you're also so inclined, you can get one of these in real life. Although the slooty version not quite available. However, just head on down to the links in the description below and have a look around, see what you can find, see if there's something that you like. Okay, let's go into a bit more detail. First major change to this mod is a massive code rewrite. It's more efficient and it's more multi-threaded now. There are no longer any vanilla script edits, which meaning it will not clash with any other mods. Now, just because it doesn't clash doesn't mean that all features are going to work all the time. For example, if you're using the Growl werewolf mod, you cannot pacify your werewolfism. It just does not work well with Growl. So your mileage will vary still depending on the features you want to use, depending on your specific mod setup. The mod will keep itself running cleanly with various housekeeping and will scan and refresh itself every time you load your game or go to sleep. So if you find that something's missing or hasn't been unlocked, like if you've just unlocked the Lich capability in the Undeath mod, but you don't have the Lich features within this mod, just go to sleep and it should redetect everything that it needs to unlock those features. Please note that all features in this mod are optional. You do not have to use the features, and not all the features will work all the time for all mod setups. The mod can be installed or uninstalled anytime during your playthrough. Make sure you follow the uninstallation steps that are outlined on the mod page. But if you are upgrading or installing, it will clean up itself, upgrade itself, and you're good to go. No issues there. So one of the common questions I get, which is, so how do I use the mod? Well, you just install it. That's it. Install the mod, and that is it. If you are a werewolf, it'll detect it. If you're a vampire, it'll detect it. If you get them granted during the game, it'll detect it. It will just work. You can see your status within the status active effects within the magic menu in the game, and you can see what you have unlocked and what you are utilizing. So for example, right now, I am a hybrid. I have both vampire and werewolf unlocked. I also have the Lich transformation from the Undeath mod. I also have Path of Transcendence installed, which enables me to unlock some visual features there if I choose. Now, to customize your character further or to change how some of your gifts are being utilized, head across into the magic menu and cast the Tainted Blood ritual. Now, this has changed a little bit from previous versions, but the principle remains the same. This is where you can modify the current effects for your vampirism and werewolves. When you first cast, you'll get messages telling you about your current statuses, and then you'll be presented with the menu as to what you can do. The first thing that we often get questions on is around pacification and bracing. So pacifying is where you want to disable all the side effects but keep the ability to shapeshift, with no other side effects in human form. Embracing is the inverse, so this is where you have the effects fully enabled. This means you are a full-blooded vampire with disease immunity, feeding, sunlight, all of the buffs and debuffs. And werewolf is the same. You get the restless sleep, the silver hand trying to hunt you down, all that sort of stuff. This is the default mode for your gifts in the game and also in this mod. You only need to embrace something if you have pacified it previously, or if you're having issues getting the mod up and running or getting your gifts up and running. Or if there's a problem with them missing, you can always re-embrace, there's no problems there. Now, the other main feature within this mod is to choose your visual racial appearance. This is the appearance of your race in the game, and these are cosmetic only for the most part. There's a few minor differences depending on what mod or what race you are using. So straight up, you can either just be cured and smooth looking as if you did not have vampirism at all. You can have the vanilla game vampire look. Now, both of these two options are going to be the most compatible with other mods and racial ability trait mods such as Imperious. The hybrid look is the custom races that I've added into this mod, and this enables you to look mostly smooth but still have some minor vampire looks upon you. Again, these are now only cosmetic differences. You will still have hybrid bonuses and features no matter which one of these you choose. Now, there's also some support for other appearances here from other mods, such as if you are using Growl and the Growl Half Beast Visuals plugin, you can choose to utilize those visuals if you like. And if you're using Path of Transcendence and my Path of Transcendence compatibility patch, you can also leverage the Lich race that TX has implemented if you choose, and if you have unlocked some kind of Lich capability in one of the Lich related mods. On the next page, you can stay tuned for my upcoming custom races that I'm working on, and you'll be able to switch to and from them mid-game if you choose. Now, these upcoming options include playable children races, playable elder races, a race that I've called a Worgen or Lycan race, playable Draugr, and playable skeleton races. Now, these are a work in progress. They're not available yet, but follow me on social media, subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. Stay tuned. I'll be releasing more information as these come along in their works. Now, whilst we're talking about custom races, there is now also much greater custom race support within this mod. Any custom race should now work fine with all of the hybrid features, and even for races that aren't properly implemented using the race compatibility mod or patch master that is also on the Nexus. Keep in mind that I'm not going to implement specific race compatibilities for each custom race that is out there because there are hundreds of them. Okay, now one of the more exciting features in this mod is the quick shift feature that I've implemented. Now, if you are a hybrid and you've got the relative transforms unlocked, you have the ability to quickly shift between them as you choose. Now, this can be done in a variety of ways. The options are configurable within the settings book. But for example, as a Vampire Lord, we can choose the Beast Form spell and quickly and relatively instantly shift into it. This opens up a whole bunch of tactical uses for various combat capabilities, and you can combine them for various effects and bonuses. Now, the werewolf form's a little bit restricting as to what I can do to actually trigger it. So by default, again, you can customize this in the options, but by default, if you stand still... Thanks. Thanks, Inigo, but shush, please. Now, by default, if you stand still and jump, as a werewolf, it will present the menu for you, which one you would like to transform into. Now, there are also configuration option settings to allow you to trigger the menu just by dropping to the ground. You can also make the menu appear upon sheathing your claws as well. It's all up to you based on what you need for your gaming style and your preferences. From in here, you can change a few things such as the ability to enable loading screens. You can also disable Sacrosanct's cross-regen block for Vampire Lord if you like. This is where you don't regenerate mana in magic mode and you don't regenerate stamina in melee mode. You can turn that on and off if you choose. It's entirely up to you. There's a few fixes and workarounds. You can also reload the mod if you choose. If something's not working properly, it will kill itself and then reload. You can also come in here to gift or cure the relevant traits if you need to as well. Some other options includes shape-shifting, visuals, and of course the quick shift menu, which enables how you choose the quick shift menu to appear if you want it enabled at all. And finally, you can also come in and customize how the sun affects you as a hybrid. These options will grow or change over time depending on the mod updates that are implemented, but please make sure you have a look in there. I am getting tired of people asking questions about how to do something when it is all in the book for you. Now, one thing to note, if you are using custom races or mods that enable custom shapeshifting, this alert will pop up from my mod. Just make sure you choose the right option so it behaves accordingly. The one on the left is for when you're temporarily shapeshifting into another form, such as things like Dwemetech or the Druid shapeshifting mods. The option on the right is for various just custom races that live out there, and there's hundreds of them, but things like, you know, Succubus, Dremora, Dragget race, all of those fun things. But don't stress if you get it wrong and you muck it up. Like everything else in the mod, it can be changed and reset. Just come into the settings book, into the fixes section, and here is where you can reset the saved custom races and what they are assigned as. Now, future roadmap items include me trying to implement a hybrid shapeshift form. This will be a fair bit of work, so it'll be split into the next major update. It should be feasible for me to implement some kind of perk tree. Please note what is not possible is to have a perk system that's natural, like within the Vampire Lord and Werewolf Lord forms. That is hard-coded in the game, as are those perks. Those perks are hard-coded to that race. But if you've got some cool ideas as to what you'd like to see, by all means, please comment below, let me know, give me some feedback. Now, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who has helped me with the beta testing process, who have given me useful, detailed feedback, and those of you who have assisted each other on the forums. My mods are free, but they take a lot of time to implement. I've now spent way more time making mods than I have actually playing the game, but it's still rewarding when I can see that these things make an improvement to people's gameplay. I'd like to give a big thank you to those who have already chipped in a couple of bucks for a coffee or small donation. It makes a big difference to me and really motivates me to keep working on this. I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media. And please give me some comments and feedback. What do you want to see in a hybrid? What would you want to see if I was to actually stream some gameplay or do a Let's Play series? Or is there anything particular that you think has been missing from other people who do this? Do you want to see me do some videos on my mod setups or mod recommendations? But I think this video's gone on for long enough now. Please enjoy. Please let me know what you think. And remember, no matter who you are or what you're doing, always embrace your inner nerdedness.